Good morning, everyone. My name is Terry, and I wasn't really sure where I was going to go with this introduction for Maya this morning. But she said to tell you about our dreams, and that led me to visions. Now, for me, visions are things that are given to me, and it's more difficult for me to create visualizing my future, my dreams. I guess dreams come to you, they just come to you more at night, sometimes during the day. um, I call those knowings. But my life, brief, very brief history. I felt I was born into a void where there wasn't love and positivity and gentle touch and all things good. It was actually quite the opposite. So at a very young age, I removed myself from that situation as much as I possibly could. And I'm talking about like 6 years old. I left my house and I just kind of started staying down at my best friend's house. There's lots of stories on that, but I was creating my life and I was doing quite well at it. I ended up running track. I got recruited in 8th grade, and in 9th grade I started running track, and then the coach asked me if I would be interested in running the JV and varsity meets as well, and I was like, sure, I got nothing else going on because, I created my own schedule. So, to this day, looking back, I don't even know how I got from point A to point B because I lived way out in the country, but I remember bits of it. But I was kicking ass in running track because I was able to push myself, right? I've always been pushing myself to do better. There wasn't anybody to really guide me or steer me, so life helped me take control at an early age. And then it always seemed like outside influences just wanted to rip that apart, time after time after time. So I was constantly rebuilding myself. And then at the age of, I don't know, how old was I? 50? As Dean used the analogy of life throwing you on the side of the road, it's kind of how I felt that happened. And then I had, I guess, what's called a spiritual awakening, and somebody had suggested that I work on me. And up to this point, because of all of the negative outside influences that were around me, I just withdrew. So I've lived a very reclusive life. It was just easier to, not have that negativity. Just push everybody away. And I didn't care if they were considered friends or family or whatnot. I was just like, you, gone. You, gone, gone. And I draw a pretty hard line, and I don't look back. I'm just looking forward. I don't like looking back for obvious reasons. But living a reclusive life and literally cutting off everything from the outside, including TV, movies, radio, so much of the outside world just wants to tell you how to live your life. And I'm like, no, No, you're gone too. You're gone too. No. Um, but then how was life going to talk to me, right? So I started learning about working on myself. I had to Google that, what self-love was. And I took that in a completely different direction, which is actually something I'm going to be working on later today after I get done with this and doing breakfast. So, because I want to help more people. There's so many people that talk about things, but I want to actually give them a different perspective. And I think I'm meant to do that because that's one of the very first things that I started teaching my kids when they were younger, like from the age of 3. I started teaching them about perspective. If they started whining and crying for no reason in the grocery cart while we're in the store, I'm like, do you realize other people can hear you? And they're wondering what you're over here screaming about? I said, you hear that kid in the far back of the store? I said, people can hear you all the way over there too. I said, you better think about that. Shut them right up. Or another time, my son, I recall he was little, and I was making a plate of food for him, and I don't eat vegetables, but I really wanted my kids to learn to eat vegetables. And I said, do you want some broccoli? He's like, oh, I don't like broccoli. I said, are you sure? You liked it last time. He's like, I did? And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, here, try a piece. So he tried it. He's like, oh, I do like it. And I'm like, all right. So I threw a couple more pieces on there. And I'm laughing to myself, knowing full well it was the first time he'd ever tried broccoli. But I was determined he was going to eat vegetables, or at least try them. If he didn't like it, that's fine too. But, perspective. So I also, when I was younger, read a lot about ancient peoples and their beliefs and their histories, and how it is that they managed and lived their lives with shamans or shamans and callers and healers and all kinds of stuff like that. And I was really drawn to that, which is different than what Western society wants us to believe. Again, it's, perspective. So then I found Dr. Joe and his inner energy. And I've always loved science, and I always worked with numbers. I'm an analyst by nature, so it just came easy to me. But it just, everything started clicking. All of this old stuff and now the new stuff is just making it all come together. And I'm like, oh, not only do other people now understand a lot of this stuff that I've felt inside and, these visions and knowings and all kinds of stuff, but there's actually somebody who is validating this with a reputable reputation. And I just felt I so relieved. And so I started delving into it more, and I think inner energy is my purpose and mission in life, to help people understand how it is that it can change them, and to give them perspective in maybe a different way. And maybe me living a reclusive life all these years, and listening more to myself than the outside world, allows me to be able to present maybe a slightly different perspective or twist on different things that are said, because I see them differently and I experience them a little differently. And then I found Dean and Tony. And then I started meeting everybody. And now that I'm here and I'm got my first course up on Sunday, it was approved on Monday. I'm working on another course today that I put off yesterday because I was allowing myself to celebrate with so many beautiful people in the groups. And I think it's important for us to take a moment and accept our accomplishments and celebrate with people. But I'm really being pushed to do this next one. And it will be a little bit different twist on self-love. Another bridge that I was able to get over, or, hurdle, however you want to look at it, from my running days. I've been finding I'm using a lot of analogies from running. But, that's okay. It's, everything is just coming together, right? Anyway, I am absolutely loving this new world that I'm in. In January, I was told by something that I'm in the world of love and creativity, and I cannot believe how true that is. It's just, life is just freaking amazing, just absolutely amazing, and I am so excited to share with other people what I've learned and to help them get through stuff maybe in different ways that other people aren't able to see. So anyway, that's a little bit about me. I'm going to make some breakfast and get ready and get this next thing going, but I'm looking forward to really getting to know everybody here. Thank you so much for bringing everybody together. I'm loving finding my people right now.